Hello, my name is Tommy Lawrence, and today I'm going to be talking about how banning plastic bags and straws is not exactly helping the environment as much as we think. So I'm just going to start off by introducing the fact that yes, plastic is bad. Yes, it's harming our environment and our wildlife and our oceans mainly, polluting everything. It is bad, but it's not necessarily the plastic bags and straws that we need to get a grip on, rather than everything else that's making up more of the waste. So in an article, it's called 5 Reasons Why Banning Plastic May Be Harmful to Our Environment by the Competitive Enterprise Institute, states that Starbucks pledges to remove plastic straws from nearly 30,000 stores worldwide, pushing other businesses and corporations to just hop on the bandwagon and start banning their plastic as well, not selling it to anybody. So plastic bags and straws only accumulate 10% of the polluted waste in the oceans. And the other, like 90-ish percent, is other things like fish nets, ropes, wires, other things like that. And so according to the Competitive Enterprise Institute, again, the primary culprit of the ocean pollution is not straws, not cups, and it's not even bags. The thing that makes up most of the ocean's pollution is the fish nets. It makes up 46%, nearly 50%, nearly half of the pollution in the ocean just comes from fish nets. And then when you add the ropes and wires on top of that, it comes to about 52%. So over half of the ocean's pollution is not even from plastic at all. It's not from plastic straws or bags. It's just from the fish nets that these fishermen are probably just throwing into the water, or they're breaking. So it's making it known that there are other things that are definitely more important that we should worry about before we worry about the plastic bags and straws like we are now. So I don't want you thinking that I'm avoiding the fact that plastic is controversial, because trust me, I know it is. I'm just portraying the fact that it isn't the biggest factor to our pollution, especially in the oceans and our wildlife. So it brings up the argument that most of the waste doesn't even come from the consumers in the U.S. A study from the Competitive Enterprise Institute found that China and 11 other Asian nations are responsible for 77 to 83% of the waste. So well over half isn't even coming from the consumers in the U.S. It's coming from people outside. So we can't necessarily control that from within our standpoint. Since these plastic bags are being banned, everyone is going to either have to buy their own plastic bag or buy one at the store. So a statement by the Longboard, Be Polluters and Scapegoats states that if we use the same shopping bag every single time we go to the store, and we go to the store twice a week, it would take 191 years to just see an environmental difference at all. So like close to 200 years for just that little difference. I know a change has to start somewhere, but only banning these plastic bags and straws honestly won't change much. It'll change 5% of the pollution, and it'll take over 200 years to start to see a change. So the environment needs to see a change, but I don't think banning plastic bags and straws will necessarily do that like we think it will. So going off the argument that banning plastic bags can be harmful, it can also be costly. Like I said before, when we have to buy these bags, buy these paper bags, there's a 10-cent taxation fee. So in the article by Munez DJ on plastic bags ban, states that the approval of the Senate bill of 2776 by Senate Environment Committee, it prevents people, stores, and restaurants from giving out plastic utensils, plastic bags, plastic straws. So it causes the consumers and the people who own those businesses, like the restaurants, they have to go out and they have to buy these paper bags that everyone's switching to. They're the alternative that's better. But when we go to the store, we have to pay 10 cents for that bag just to put our stuff in the bag. On top of the store has to pay their 10 cents for the bag. So it's just more costly, and that being a college student, that just adds up for me, and that just wouldn't really be able to work. So the biggest argument that grabbed my attention is just the common sense behind the fact that everyone needs bags. You need bags for just everyday travel, long travel, grocery shopping, obviously, sports, and like many more options. So There's a great newspaper source that displays a conversation between Stacy Van Smith, Greg Rossley, and Rebecca Taylor. They basically talk about just how banning plastic bags and straws is what can necessarily harm the environment rather than hurt it. So it starts off with Greg emphasizing his love for plastic. He just loves plastic bags. He loves using. He says that there are many more uses for plastic bags, including trash bags, or even just like picking up dog poop. Because if you have a dog, picking up dog poop is part of your everyday life, or at least once a week life. On top of that, he says that sales for medium to small plastic bags went up 120%, over 100% in sales. They skyrocketed just because plastic bags were being banned. And that's terrible for the environment, because when the medium to small trash bags are made up of actually double the amount of plastic that's in a regular trash bag that you get at a grocery store. So in the long run, we're necessarily hurting our environment more than helping it by banning these plastic bags. So overall, after assessing and reading the articles that I went through, I was a big supporter on banning plastic. I was all about save the turtles, save the wildlife, but the plastic bags and straws don't necessarily play as big of a role as we thought they would. So I'm just going to leave you with 5 main points that I took out of my research, and I hope that you got out of this speech as well. So most of the waste isn't even from the consumers. Sorry, there's a fly. Most of the waste isn't even from the consumers. It's from other people, like the fish nets, fish people, like stuff like that. The vast majority of plastic is because of poor disposal. Not even in the U.S. It's outside the country. Like I said, the 77 to 83% from China and 11 other Asian nations that make up the waste. So we don't really have a role on that. Plastic is a safer and more sanitary bag use than any of the other alternatives, like the paper bags. Other alternatives cost more money, like the paper bags, like I said, the 10-cent taxation. And it's just common sense, like I said before, picking up every day, like for dog poop, for instance. You need bags for your everyday life. You need plastic bags. It's just common sense that the world needs them. So I hope you got something out of this. I hope you learned a little something. Have a good one.